But when you just like pull up your natal chart on astro.com, the Lilith that we know and sort of study the most is Black Moon Lilith. And Black Moon Lilith, mythology of Black Moon Lilith goes a little something like this. She predates Adam, actually. I don't know if you heard about Adam. He's with Eve. They live in the garden. Kind of boring, very vanilla. She was a Jewish woman who was an equal to Adam, met up with him in the garden, and it turns out after they got over the honeymoon moment of another person, let's fuck, or whatever, he, was a descendant of whatever, God, still had some macho systems of thinking to work out. And when it came to sex specifically, she wanted to fuck on top sometimes, and he would not have it. He's like, what? No, turn around, right? And she was like, no, come on, foreplay, and let me just do a little thing. And and he was totally not open, and she actually banished herself from the garden. So she is like the Jewish first wife from hell. Then Eve was born out of Adam's rib. Once you get a taste of the pussy, you do need someone, right? That we are all obsessed. We want someone to be texting or fucking or loving, right? So that's natural. Don't beat yourself up for it. But, you do want someone who not only is at your level, but, somebody who, if they say, hey, can we try this sexual thing, you're not so fucking freaked out that they banish themselves and become a demon baby napper in the night to hide underground for millennia and, really toss and turn through most of the movements happening, because Lilith has been suppressed in the collective because the patriarchy has suppressed her. The Christians, they didn't like her, very scared. All she wanted to do was come, really, and just like have an opinion and be an equal, when in fact us men and women are equal, but we are different biologically, and you guys are not aware of a lot of things within the range of human experience simply by way of you not understanding what it is to get a period. When you get your period, and if you do track it and you do create a relationship with your period, what you're doing without even being told to is you're doing moon work. This is the work of the divine feminine. It's to love yourself through the whole cycle. And while you can't plan everything that's going to happen, or if you're going to get your period on your shorts, or if you're going to have horrible cramps, or if you're going to accidentally text someone because you thought it was whatever, you can know where you're at in your cycle. And you can kind of like surf the energy in a way that isn't so like, can you imagine if every time you got your period, from the moment you got it until you were always like, no way, again? I have my period? What? Right? You'd be like, this is crazy. I'm bleeding every month. You actually have to go, oh no, this is natural and it's normal, and it connects me to the earth, and it connects me to my fertility, and it connects me to humanity and the moon. You're on the same, what a crazy ass coincidence. We are on the lunar cycle, and we are mirroring the behavior of the moon. So no, can we prepare for this full moon by way of like planting certain seeds to make certain outcomes happen? No, probably not. But we can know to grab a tampon before we go out. We're probably going to get our period, or whatever they're like. I happen to be a dark moon bleeder, but what to expect when you're not expecting. Expect to be surprised, uncomfortable, and possibly triggered. Expect change. What would you do if you were expecting change? Do that. Lilith has been in Aries for the last 9 months. How cute. Speaking of the moon, Lilith is on a 9-month cycle. So every 9 months, Lilith changes signs. And if you want to know scientifically, and I'm not a scientist, but scientifically, what Black Moon Lilith is representing is it's like the moment you're born, or wherever it is in the sky, it is the farthest part of the moon's orbit. It's the furthest away from Earth that the moon gets. So wherever the moon's orbit is, and it's the furthest away from Earth at that time, is sort of the Lilith point. It's like sort of the dark side of the moon. It's deeper than we can fathom. It's darker. It's not visible ever. But even if Lilith left the garden, you heard about her. We're hearing about her. Okay, we're talking about her. She's here. And the moon work shows us that it's not always about what you can see. More often than not, it's about what you can feel, or what you can intuit, or what you can start to understand and then integrate and contemplate and sort of transform with. So Lilith in Aries for the past 9 months has been calling us all in our divine feminine to, it's like, I want to say my mouth bugle is usually dope. I just don't want to wake the neighbors. But, it was like sort of a wake up for the divine feminine. This is very threatening to men or masculine women who are not in touch with their divine feminine side, because it's everything the patriarchy or the toxic masculine is afraid of. It's raw emotion. It's sexual desire. It's fuck your systems. I'm out. I don't need you. Lilith is not, she takes no prisoners. There's no mercy, because she's like, fuck you. You blew it. And so I think on the one hand, we want to acknowledge Lilith's wake-up call over the past 9 months to go, hey, this is the rise of divine feminine. Come on, get up. We're gonna wake up. The witches aren't gonna get burned at the stake of time. Let's go. But now, and then it had this crazy time, right? Chiron has been in Aries. That's the wounded healer. So we felt the wound of the feminine. We also felt the wound of all of the wounds that we felt about the vulnerable people on earth is that divine feminine wound. Because it really is the voice of the people and the voice of the women and the voice of the divine feminine in all of us that actually needs more space than usually we're willing to give someone for breaking the rules. We actually want people to follow the rules so we can control them and manage them. And Lilith is like, but wait a second, I am not just laying on my back in the garden with this bro forever. I actually have dreams. I have goals. Let's have a threesome. Let's do something. And so Lilith in Aries has been all about waking up the divine feminine. And if you are outraged, or if you are vulnerable, or if you are horny, or if you are scared, these are all normal feelings, because this is a part of a lot of us that has been dormant for quite some time. What's interesting for me is I have Lilith on my ascendant. So it just so happens that as Lilith entered Aries and we started this bizarre year, 9 months ago, I had the opportunity to step more into my career and my power in a way that I would have never even thought to had the plague not happened. So talk about somebody being able to operate in the dark, operate in the chaos. I'm so much more comfortable now than I was ever before. And it's because within the system, Lilith is like, fuck this and fuck you, I'm out. And if anybody knows me, if you know me, I've never quite participated in this system. I've always been a leader, but I've never really done like rules or conformity. I definitely am like an alternative life coach. I feel like everybody that hires me ends up quitting their jobs and on more drugs than when they hired me. But you end up in a different place, and you usually end up way happier. But now Lilith has moved into Taurus. So for the next 9 months, the dark, feminine, pissed, sexual, mean, loving, Lilith is just like, it's the chaos of woman. It's the chaos of the moment. And it's putting yourself first, putting your needs first. So if we can do that, and now that Lilith is into Taurus, it's going like, okay, money, let's talk money. Not only are we going to find something out on this full moon about the money systems or about the culture of wealth, that things just are going to be revealed in ways that as if we haven't heard enough, as if pedophile islands aren't enough. Let's see what we got, But now that Lilith is in Taurus, she's here to clean up, which for some people might look like destroy, but she's here to transform for the next 9 months the financial system. And I think it's going to look a lot like it's going to feel a lot like whatever happens on Saturday, Sunday, whatever happens around this full moon, whether you end up feeling fucked by it or a huge windfall of opportunity, it is the opportunity that you have been waiting for, or you don't know that you've been waiting for, that's actually going to liberate your finances. Because Lilith in Taurus is like, wait a second, I am not being taken care of. So with Lilith in Aries, she's like, no one's listening to me. And then it's like, fuck it, let's get on IG Live. Now Lilith in Taurus is going to be like, I need a luxury home. You all need to be paying me, and I need to be paying other people. Now here's the thing. When you do any like Lilith research, in a certain vein of the internet, you're going to find a lot of negative shit about Lilith, where it's like it's all about being like selfish and it's all about being only on your own team. That's ridiculous, because women operate in community. And in fact, if you like dig into the Lillian folklore, Lilith is sort of, it's more of a it's like a term used for a type of woman, which is a Lillian woman. And these are like the dark witches of the night. But really it might just be like the women, the women who were not going to conform or be abused or be silent. So actually, the power of Lilith is that she, even in the dark, just like the moon, can connect to everybody, but especially the women and the divine feminine parts of you. And so wherever you've been silencing Lilith in your own life, she probably has been rocking your world in terms of realizing stuff about the opposite sex, or realizing stuff about your own internalized misogyny or whatever. Now we're going to move into the Libra territory when it comes to money, and it's going to be about service, it's going to be about value, it's going to be about fair pay, it's going to be about self-publishing, because now Lilith's like, oh, actually I'm the production company, I'm the business, I've been waiting to be taken care of. And it's like, I don't want to be taken care of. I didn't want to be taken care of. I didn't want to be in the garden either. Garden sucks. So this is an awakening, a feminine, sensual, financial revolution moment for all people. The men aren't fucked. We all are both divine masculine and divine feminine. But it's like, what if you could not only get paid for doing less, and get paid for doing your work, and get paid well, or like, let's abolish money and figure out a system that's actually, there's not a gap that's actually like almost insurmountable. I mean, it's ridiculous how much the rich people want to keep the money. It's like, what you realize when you don't have money is that you don't, I mean, you need it on a basic level, but like, no, the more chaotic my life has gotten, the more I see now I'm prepared for this moment. I'm not afraid of losing anything. I have everything that I need. I don't have anything to lose. And I'm happy. And at least I'm happy when I'm sad, right? I'm not like happy, but like, no, I weep, I take cry selfies, I'm making a business out of it, you know? So, you know, this will be a revolution for the healers, for the artists, for the writers, for the, you know, the opposite of Taurus is Scorpio. Scorpio is that deep, dark, you know, it's the creative process, it's the transformation process, it's witchcraft, it's the occult, it's death, it's resurrection, it's a lot of things that we, even though it is power, Scorpio is kind of like the energy of like getting other people's money. And so it has sort of like a manipulative flair where it's like, I'm just going to get in there and then like, you know, say what I need to say to get the money. That's like one version of it. But the higher octave of Scorpio is actually like, no, I'm connected to Taurus. Taurus is safety. It is earth. It is Gaia. It is money. It is abundance. And instead of going low to get mine, if I go high and actually transform on a high level and a high and low, and you connect those high and low levels and actually make it, you create bridges between those gaps that we're talking about with money, and create bridges in those gaps that we're talking about with like communication and masculine and feminine understanding of each other, or even divine union within. This is a chance to be like, no, we are doing things differently. Fuck the system.